CNBC guest says that our/WallStreetBets community is doing better financial analysis than hedge funds. He's referring to the penis-shaped graphs. And don't forget the classic ball-sack bullish pattern. Descending ball-sack bullish pattern. Buy the balls, sell the tip. Edit. Jesus, this isn't financial advice, you damn dirty apes. I've been holding since February. Keep your helmets on. Hold the tip and buy more at the other ball. Hold the tip, buy the money shot. Squeeze the tip and shoot GME to the moon. Just the tip, to see if I like the tendy. I just like the idea that a hedge fund might have employees whose job it is to read and report on what goes on in this sub and what this sub is talking about, and this comment goes in some financial consultancy report. It's nice thinking they have to tabulate how many times tendies, wives, boyfriends, out the stock were mentioned. Imagine that debriefing to the boss every day. And of course we really have some of the brightest minds on Reddit here. Web link. Is that the same one blasting salmon to the moon? The sockeye salmon graph was my personal favorite. I love the fact that there's incredibly good, well thought out DD such as the salmon break graph down, mixed in with random meme DD. The fact it took me halfway through before I realized it was satire makes me wonder if I'm actually a retard or it was actually that well done. It was well done and you're a retard for realizing satire instead of realizing gains. Is that the LTV? Edit. So are the updates a yes? Or people with the same question? I'm a baby ape. I'm here for the education. Length to volume? Live TV. This is the way. This is the way. This is the way. This is the way. Let's not forget the fish graph. Or that one with the sharks. Just to be clear, he is not talking about me. Next thing you'll be telling us you're not fast or pretty either. Pretty retarded. You found your place then. I'm effing confused. Are we crayon-eating retards or are we chalk-donning analytical geniuses? Retards or autists. There's no middle ground here. While both are currently welcome, pick your side, because someday a war will come. Unless we all get distracted by something shiny, like that shiny silver wrapping paper, which is really the most probable outcome. I analyzed a retard drink his own piss, another tard eat a ghost chili, a half tard eat a crayon, and what had to be the last effin' homo habilis eat 90k at options. Solid effin' DD in my house. All in the past 2 weeks. That guy who yeeted 90k on calls has been punching the air since 4 p.m. I'm glad they are contributing to my knowledge. Especially the options guy. Was a great lesson for us all. The last ducking homo habilis ong, I laughed so hard I threw up half-eaten crayons all over my wife's boyfriend's new McLaren. Crayon-eating apes, HFs. Give us the billion-dollar salaries. Give us? That implies they have a choice. Nope, it's an offer they can't refuse. Wrong. It's an order they can't decline. On this, the day of my wife's boyfriend's wedding. Forget about it. Seeing the graph in red is hilarious. We are sitting at $264.50 closing on March 12 compared to $40 4 weeks ago. If there's anything we've learned from this, HF are really not that smart at making investments. They win because they collude with finance media like CNBC. The moment someone called them out on their bullcrap, they lost billions. If you had the resources to in real time move markets and knew the government would bail you out, you'd be doing really well too. Ask for forgiveness, not permission. Most importantly, ask for tendies and don't take no for an answer. Hedgies better have my sauce money for all those tendies I'ma get. Honey mustard? Szechuan. Damn you rich. Consider themselves smart but they are just pre-uncultured. Way to go, ape. I like ketchup, says Juan. More of a ranch guy myself. My ape. Legalize ranch. Damn, finally someone said it. The philosophy and life's work of Ramadan Steve shall not go in vain. His untimely demise shall be a rallying cry. Exactly. They consider themselves smart, but they are just privileged to be part of an elite that brings no value to society. It's funny, but the internet has exposed some people. Yes, there are very smart and better people out there, but there are so many effing morons doing way better than we are. The little guys are coming up big in 2021 and beyond. Apes shall inherit the flat planet. Apes on a plane. I'm with you. I'm so effing ready. Decades of watching liars, cheats, and idiots run away with it all. It's our time now. You want some Zipple? I also try to help. May I have some Zipple? Aw, you poor baby. Can I have some Zipple too? Daddy has 2 Zipples for you. Relevant George Carlin, web link. They're called out all the time actually. It's no secret the purpose of hedge funds is to move money from their investors' profits into their own profits via commission. The most famous call-out was from Warren Buffett when he said plumbers add value with their work while money managers do not. He then made his famous bet where he challenged all the fund managers to beat the SAMP's returns, after they deduct their fees. They all lost that bet because although they showed very high paper returns, the fees not being reinvested caused them to perform significantly worse for their clients. Management funds add little to no value. Either buy ETFs or invest in the stocks yourself. It's basically being super rich and having your degenerate gambler of a cousin holding your money for you. Your cousin also likes to F you in the ass while you sleep with a dildo wrapped in dirty $100 bills that he stole from your wallet. HFs are consistently beat by all the indexes. They literally do worse than just shoving your money in a mutual fund that has broad index investment. So of course a bunch of smooth brains are going to do better on WSB. They still have a brain. HF managers and their investors do not. The only advantage that HF has is during a downturn. That is their purpose. They don't mind going up 10%, instead of 15%, as long as when it is minus 20%, they are only minus 10%. Almost as if you're supposed to use investments in those funds as a hedge against a bear market. Somebody should really rename them to better reflect that purpose. Something like hedge fund would probably work. Been saying it for a while along with hundreds of others. They are by no means these giant geniuses. They are normal people whose parents were wealthy so they got to join the Silver Spoon Club. They're playing with our money and screwing us to line their pockets. When people say this isn't a movement, they could not be more wrong. It is a shift to free market and financial independence. It's easier to understand stocks than it is to learn how to rotate inventory, health safety codes on food, and coding programs. It also pays better. This is not a movement of we, it is a movement of me. The smart ones are the ones programming the algos effing us, and you can't blame them, it's their job. You can blame the Silver Spoon Club. FM all. I do mechanic work on the side and have entertained the idea of flipping cars. I told my girl this morning that BC of everything I've learned over the past 2 months, there's no way I want that headache when I could just invest what I would spend on something to flip. I'm 36 and have never been exposed to this financial education. Granted, I wasn't looking for it, but for all my schooling and all the people I've had relationships with, it's never come up. I effing love you apes, and this is the movement of our time. A lot of it is fin porn and brain candy, but when you've been bitten, game over. I like puzzles. This is my new one, and I'm really looking forward to working it. Same here, man. I used to be a mechanic and became an engineer. I was thinking, wow, I can buy more expensive cars to flip now. But like the work involved, and I know what happens on a bad flip. The time and effort of doing crap with the stock market is indoors. I won't be getting pissed off either at a rusty effing bolt. Win-win for me. Exactly. Oh, they went to Harvard, they must be smart. No, their daddy's money and connections got them into those prestigious schools. Daddy's money and connections then got them the hedge fund jobs. This is true for law school, finance, almost any position of power. It's a effing disgusting cesspool of nepotism and favor trading. And if your daddy isn't rich, you're not in the club. And this is why idiot trust funders rule our world, and why our world is going to crap. If we lived in a meritocracy, all of our lives would be immeasurably improved. When I moved to NY, it was a game changer in terms of how many Ivy Leaguers just exist there. I have to say something unpopular in the internet age, it's a mixed bag. There are definitely connected bags who ride that to those schools. But I've also met some of the brightest, most hardworking and disciplined people from those schools. I think painting with a broad brush is wrong. But legacy and donation admissions are BS and should be outlawed. Exactly. So many of the ultra-wealthy financiers talk about how they were into stocks as children. Pretty unbelievable how totally believable some of their stories are. I'm a boomer, though only barely by a year LOL, and my daughter just told me her boyfriend of 4 months is heavily invested in GME and is going to become super wealthy, and I was shocked honestly LOL. At 24 years old I didn't know a damn thing about the stock market or would have even thought about doing something like that. By the way, she has no idea I have any money in this stock, so it will be a fun surprise when both her boyfriend and her mother get rich at the same time. Rocket, 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 rocket. Yeah, she's definitely going to be pumped when he proposes with not just a ring but a new boyfriend too. Smiley face. Let's be honest, it's not that difficult to make money if you have billions at your disposal. If I had 1M used, just put some into 3 meters, Coca-Cola, a tant, and boom, you have a nice income source that over time can compound. There are only a few people like Buffett who can make insane ROIs on stocks. Rest are just imitating. At least that's my retarded opinion. Also not a financial advice. Also, I have no money lol. Rockefeller had a quote I always liked: if you have $100, making $10 takes work. If you have 100 meters, making 10 meters is inevitable. That was Edgar Bronfman. Huh, you're right. I have been giving the wrong person credit for years now lol. Thank you. This precisely I rock hose you rock fellas. Because you have to consume $99 of that $100 to survive. You don't need to consume $99 million of the $100 million to survive. One side has significantly more to work with because it can easily grow on itself. The other has to remain mostly liquid in case the owner needs to pull it out and use it. You also have a lot more options with 100 meters than with $100. You also have a lot more options with 100 meters than with $100. Like 100K options? Only if they're deep OTM, obviously. Think of it on a really simple level. If you have $100, you can buy shares. If the stock goes tits up, you sell and take the loss. If you have $1,000, you can use options to turn a crashing stock into a profit. If you have millions, you can create enough volume to artificially bring up the cost of a stock by buying and selling at progressively higher values within the spread. Then, when other investors try to exploit the supposed momentum, you can dump your shares at an artificially elevated price. If you have billions, you can do this on a huge scale and get away with it. If you have billions, people will pay you to do it for them. Don't believe all quotes from the internet. Abraham Lincoln. Look at the wealth indexes from 2008 to now. The wealthy have, mostly, more than doubled their worth. There are no free markets, just free rides in a manipulated one. When you look up free market in econ textbooks, you find it's talking about a thought experiment where everyone has perfect information and access and monopolies are not allowed. They'll further tell you that if you want to approximate the free market in reality, then you need a world with strict regulations against antitrust, collusion, and abuse. The free market actually requires assistants and cops on the beat in order to exist in our universe. Otherwise, you're just talking about the lamest form of anarchy. I heard it's easy to get $1 million when day trading, just start with 2 millions. Exactly. I could make a 100K in one day too if I had 50 mother-in-law to use. Don't even need to play stocks. Just go with a classic savings account. Problem solved. I've had options trades where I made over 1,500% returns. If I had 1 million to throw in those trades, I'd be a 100 millionaire by now. But when you only trade with $500 of options, you walk away with 8K on the trade and feel lucky. Even just throwing $1 million in some of the most popular ETFs without any active investment strategy would have earned close to $600K over the last 5 years. Is it really because you don't have the principal, or is it because you make 1,500% on 1 in every 100 plays, and the other 99 go to zero? Your statement is pretty much, if I had a crap ton of capital and I played the market absolutely perfectly, I would be rich! !1! !1! !1! If you were consistently hitting 1,500% on trades, it would take you longer, but you'd still get filthy rich. True, but HFs specialize in doing dirty bullcrap to make quick gains. Simple answer: they got comfortable after years and years and years of doing this. Basically, while they were living a billionaire's life, we were studying the blade. The moment a bunch of retarded apes called them out on their bullcrap. Investors are just using algorithms trained on datasets before Robinhood democratized investing. Lol. When all goes update, it will be scary. Nothing will move rationally. It will non-stop shake out options traders until we're all broke or find a new way to profit off of it. That will never happen. Instead, the SEC will restrict amateur trading and all brokers will have a fiduciary duty to their client and to the market itself. This was all set up to happen 20 years ago when day trading originally became a concern with the advent of the internet. Nobody ever saw something like this coming, but nobody could have predicted how stupid and malleable the internet and populism would make people. It's bad though, and it's going to get a draconian response. This whole thing reminded me of margin call, where everyone up the chain of command knew less than the guy below them. I guess that when you make a 7-figure salary and have so much power at your disposal as to almost drive a company to bankruptcy just by toying with their stock, you don't need that much of DD, at least not as much as the retard who is risking his life savings on it. They also make trades where we can't see them, but all of our order flow is public. Easy to win with one-way transparency. They just don't share parts that will help others succeed in the market. It's a battle of right and wrong at the end of the day. Swimming with the current will always be easier than any other mode. These Fs have been patting themselves on the back for doggy paddling while pulled along by daddy's buckaroos. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. We welcome your comments below. Press to start another of our videos.